Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Next Drift. On this episode, I have an exciting free map reading tool that I think you might really like. This is from cmap.com/chart explorer. And I know that a lot of times, one of my favorite tools is the Navionics map with the relief shading. It used to be free, it no longer is, and I know that for some of you, you don't want to pay the $50 a year. So I found a free, as of right now, a free option to be able to look at the same type of relief shading that Navionics has, and you can do it right on your desktop. They do have a mobile app that's available. There's a 14-day trial, and then I think it's actually more expensive than Navionics is. So as of right now, we can use it on the desktop for free, and we'll kind of go through some of the features that it has. The main purpose of this video is to look around for late season fluke spots in Long Island Sound and off of Montauk. It's late in the season. We're going to have that migration that happens in the fall, and there's a lot of offshore storms from hurricanes and whatnot going on this time of year. So where are we going to look for fluke? As the water temperature starts to cool and we get further into fall, the fish will start to migrate out of the Long Island Sound. They'll come through, the race. They'll come through the gut, and they'll start heading out offshore. In the winter, fluke go all the way out to the continental shelf, which is out here, so it will be considered the canyons. And they live right here on the edge of the continental shelf all winter long, and that's where they spawn. Fluke will spend all winter in up to 600 feet of water. It's pretty amazing. There's very little research that I've been able to find on that, but I'm going to do some digging. Maybe we'll have that in an upcoming video. So in the meantime, let's take a look around. We're going to focus, like I said, on central and eastern Long Island Sound out to Montauk. At the end of fall, the fluke will start to migrate, and a lot of the typical areas that we would find them in central Long Island Sound would be places like out here at 6 Mile Reef, 28-foot Shoal. You can see all these points that are out here. And what they'll do is they'll start to migrate back through the plum gut or the race, or they'll head out, a little bit further on the north side of Fisher's Island. But that big migration will start to happen right about now. And the places that we really want to start to focus on, at least in my opinion, are on the eastern end of Long Island Sound. Places like Cerberus Shoal. This is a great fluke spot in the fall. And it's not pressured as much either. This is a great stopping point. You can see that it's really kind of the first patch of structure on the bottom on their way out, offshore past the point of Montauk. So let's take a look at Cerberus Shoal. One of my favorite places to focus on in the fall at Cerberus Shoal is on the north side of the shoal itself. We have deep water access that runs really close. Right in here you can see it's 175 feet deep, and it comes up to that 100-foot depth, and then it comes back up again on the shelf into the 60s and 70s. And some of the spots that I really want to focus on is an area like this. You can see here that we have some really nice contours. There's some good points that stick off at the end of this. And a little bit to the west, you have another big point that runs up here with a bunch of sand waves on it. These are fluke holding spots when they're migrating back out towards Montauk. So these are definitely some areas I would check out. Anywhere along here, there is a lot of current that goes on in this area from the race, and that really is one of the main things that attracts a lot of fish to this. They're going to use these migration channels, these deeper areas to migrate through. It's like a highway. So any of these stopping points where they can stop to feed or take a break on their way out, this is where I want to be fishing. Out here you can see off the backside of this, you've got some 65, 66, 70-foot depth. Anytime, I always tell this to people, whenever you're looking for fluke, I always like to start in that 60 to 75 foot range. Usually any time of the year you're going to find fluke in that depth range, and this is the perfect area to do it. On the outgoing tide, they can settle up right in here and just pick off bait fish. So these 2 points that you see here are really nice spots for the fall. As we get further out and we start looking at areas out towards Montauk, because like I said, these fish are going to migrate all the way out for the winter time out to the continental shelf or the canyons. And a lot of the spots that they're going to stop on are places like this. Right over here you have Montauk Shoal. It's the tip of it. You know, you have that 40-foot range, and it goes down into 50, and then you have this great big flat that sticks out here. And these types of areas, you can kind of see this little deeper section that runs right here. The fluke are going to migrate through this. They'll stop over here on the end of this point. You can see this point that comes out right here. They'll stop here, and they'll also stop over here. And a lot of times during the fall, you'll see the fleet fishing right here along this, 55 to 65 foot range. And that's a big kind of, it's a community hole. Everybody starts going there once the weather, the temperature starts to drop and the weather changes. This is one of the last feeding spots that fluke are going to hit to really stack up for the winter before they head out. Other spots, we've got places like Frisbees, we've got Cartwrights. A lot of these areas will also hold fish as they start migrating out, but usually for the most part, I'm going to focus in on these shallower sections, and that's where most of the fluke are going to be congregated. Some of the other areas that you can certainly check out are a little bit, further to the west. There's an area right over here that has this great big kind of point that sticks out. This area always holds fish during the fall. This is definitely a spot you want to check out. Get some of your drifts right up in here, and a lot of times the bait fish will just stack up along here. You'll find fluke along the back side of this point. It's a really great spot in the fall. So definitely check out this map. It's another option for you, so you don't have to pay for the Navionics app. And I think it's pretty good. The relief shading's good. There's a lot of detail on here. And, I actually just noticed another spot you might want to go check out. I've never fished here before. I have no idea. But you can see this channel that runs up here. Look at this little point that sticks out. It's like a hump that sticks right out here near the big channel swing. That looks like a really good spot. So, like I said, check it out. Let me know what you think of this app or this tool on the desktop. And I hope to see a bunch of good pictures of your big fluke and everything like that on our Patreon page. And I really appreciate you watching. We'll talk to you real soon. Take care, everybody.